So I was reading over, your form for signing up. Is there anything more specific than your role in Heroes that you'd like to tell me about before we start? Like what you're looking to get from this?
Actually, not particularly. I'm also playing Dota to kind of have fun, and what I'm moving to get out of this is just in general kind of improve because I'm sure I'm doing a lot of things wrong, being in my bracket and all, and I play like maybe a couple games a day, not doing like not too much. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I main generally position 3 or 4. Occasionally I do mid
What
or
would you like to learn about
5.
today? Specifically 3 or what role?
Yeah, 3. I have like a prepared replay.
Okay.
This is the AD, and it's like a position 3 Night Stalker. Generally, I play 3 or 4. I rarely play other roles other than when required to, just because I find those two the most fun. Both equally, like both 3 and 4 are not fun, but generally saying, I suspect that I'll learn more from position 3 replay. Just because there's I don't know more things involved in that than 4. So I prepared this, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Cool, man. You can see my screen?
I see a banana. Probably need to click something.
Yeah, maybe click the banana.
Yeah, there we go. I can see the game. Yeah.
Is this the only replay you have for today, or did you want to view some others as well?
Yeah, this is the one I prepared.
That's mainly
I
me
guess I
asking,
have.
like, how long you want me. Like, that basically tells me how much in depth I should go on
Right.
this specific replay. So.
Yeah, good point. I have prepared a couple others, but yeah, we can go through a second one as well if we have enough time.
Okay. So you're not. So you're mainly like you're glued to getting this one, but if we have time for another, we'll do it.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific about this one. Like whatever you can see in this one, we probably apply to the other one as well. So I'm just looking for kind of general kindness and things.
I got you.
Because I would say that the way I play this game, I play most games. So.
What do you like about Night Stalker?
Oh, Night Stalker. Yeah, that's my favorite hero. One of my favorite heroes. So I would say the mobility, the aspect where you're kind of strong at night and weak at day, I find particularly kind of fun and I guess useful, obviously, during the night. I find this self-sustain very useful and very interesting. I really liked it when it was on the shard, but still fine now. I like that it has a silence that you cannot really easily dispel, dodge, or get rid of. And I like that it has a shard now that you can kind of farm easily by yourself, push lanes. It's not just a single target spell with the shard. And yeah, I guess those are the main points. He's kind of durable. He's kind of like do it all. He pushes waves. He can be like a semi carry. He can.
What makes you say Night Stalker pushes waves? Like, how do you push waves with this hero?
Well, basically with the shard, I buy the shard and then just kind of.
Oh, I see.
Use the Q.
I forgot
yeah,
that's
it's not safe as like.
I haven't played him since they changed the shard and the abilities around, so I actually forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and one thing I do is generally buy shard almost every game just because of my bracket. It's kind of need to push waves. You can just like get something earlier and then just ignore the shard. So I just basically just kind of prioritize that almost every game.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And yeah.
My question for you is, why are you running this way and not towards the creeps? Because like what I see is a creep dying, like this melee creep's just gonna die, and you're like walking away from it, like out of XP range and everything.
I think my general go-to when I have a creep with me is to move as fast as possible to my tower so I can block the creeps. But I can see that in this case it doesn't really make sense because there's creeps on the other side as well. So
yeah, so I guess right now what I'm seeing, So like what I'm seeing that's good is you clearly focus on keeping the lane in front of your tower. Like you have a lot of emphasis on that. Like I'm seeing you do that in multiple different ways. The mechanical execution is not perfect, like when you were trying to draw the creep aggro and stuff here. But you clearly like know you're supposed to do this and you're trying to do it. Which is good. Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So usually what happens, what I've noticed is this is especially true for people who I coach a lot, or like who watch my videos. Because this is like one of my videos as well. Did you see that video? Is that why you're doing it like this, or were you already doing this before?
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. So, what I basically have to teach people is this is what we want to do, and it's a great first step that you're trying to do it. So the way that people get better at Dota, or like the next step, is how do I do the things I'm supposed to do as efficiently as possible? Right.
Cool.
So in this example, the thing that you never want to sacrifice for efficiency is XP of the creeps. So like this is priority number 2 to being in XP range and potentially being able to CS creeps.
Right.
So like right now you're prioritizing the lane equilibrium over these creeps. I would want you to shift that priority to I'm laning up here because there's creeps. You're allowed to do this if there's no creeps. Or if you were to walk here that you die.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So move priority below that of getting creeps and XP. Because that's the reason we want the wave here in the first place. Is that we get more golden XP than the opponent. So if we're like giving it up to move it here, it's kind of like defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a pretty easy lane. I guess maybe not if this was like a higher bracket, but basically here they were just kind of poking me slightly. It didn't really do much. So
yeah, I think it's really
generally saying in daytime you could really punish this hero. So I'm assuming in higher brackets it's not as good. But in my bracket, the first 5 minutes, everybody just got the FK lanes, kind of instead of trying to punish the Night Stalker, because obviously I'm much weaker during the day, right? So
yeah,
I find that also one of the things that's kind of easy to play around the hero.
I see. So this is a moment where I've been watching you defensively creep aggro for 5 minutes now. Like that's pretty much been your approach to this lane. And you're 1v2, and this is the first time I've seen you walk aggressively in 5 minutes. And for me,
I just wanted to stay here. I did not see the Riku. That's one of the things I need to improve upon. I need to improve my map awareness of specifically my support kind of leaving the lane, and I completely went like, what's going on? Like, why am I doing this aggressive move for no reason?
Okay.
I just kind of like
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Okay. I gotcha. So we'll keep in mind awareness of teammates.
Yeah.
That's just something that if you have questions about that, let me know, but I'll just kind of keep that in mind for now.
Yeah. I realize I need to focus on that more in general, just so. Generally, I like to look at the minimap, but sometimes I just kind of, how we call it, narrow focus. No,
yeah, tunnel
there's
vision.
another tunnel vision. Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay.
Right now, basically, I'm thinking of, I'm hyper aware of the positioning of the opponents, because as Night Stalker during the night, it's very easy to punish any positioning mistakes. So I'm just waiting for them to see if they'll make any wrong moves. They're kind of keeping themselves under the tower. So. Here, the only reason I took the wisdom was because Mariki left. If it was here, obviously, I wasn't taking the wisdom. I think those are very important. I'm saying this because it sounds a bit funny, because I have recently. I kind of had like a hiatus, didn't play for a while. Then I came back and I saw these wisdom shrines, and apparently everybody is prioritizes them super hard. And I kind of keep forgetting of the timers. So this game I did notice it, and I saw Miracle and I just took it. So I don't know. I think it's okay. And also on this here, it's kind of very important to get to 6 as soon as possible. So like, is that a good thing? I don't know.
I mean, I think everything you've done is reasonable to me. Like, I would go get the wisdom as well if my support's not going to go take it. My answer to your question is everything you said sounds reasonable. You clearly think a lot about what you're trying to do. So, there's just a few things like what I'm doing is I'm listening to you, and I'll tell you if there's anything you say that's like, I disagree, or I think that's like completely wrong or whatever. And then I'm just watching your replay on fast forward, and I'm just going to pause whenever I see a decision that confuses me. So for me, when the enemy support pulls like this, what are you thinking? Like, you walk over here and you see this. What are you thinking?
Right. So the first thing is it's at night. I'm kind of strong. I can kill the small camp, and then pull the wave towards my tower, while keeping in mind that I can, at any point I can ult and punish anybody that's out of position.
Okay, I've got a question for you. When it comes to the first like 8 to 10 minutes of the game, what's like the #1 sign that you're strong?
I guess if my support is in the lane.
I think the #1 sign that you're strong is that you can farm creep waves. Like, you ask yourself, can I farm this creep wave? The answer is, I can farm the creep wave. Do you know what I'm saying by that? I know I maybe didn't ask the question in the best way. What?
So can I push the wave without kind of getting a lot of damage?
Yeah, can I farm the wave and not just die? Basically. So, like, if you were against PA carry, and this is like a Jakiro 5, and you walk over here, the Jakiro is going to cast Dual Breath and Liquid Fire on you, and the PA is going to Dagger Blink on you, and you're going to take like 400 damage. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would not walk like this against PA Jakiro, as an example. Combination of a support that has really efficient damage and a carry that can go from here to here in like 1 second.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what I mean is, if I think I'm strong, that means I can farm these creeps. If I think I'm strong, but I can't farm these creeps, that means I need to go be strong somewhere else. So if you think you're strong right now, you're either farming the creeps or you're going somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So, strength in lane. Strength in lane means that you can farm the creeps. If you think you are strong, yet you can't farm the creeps, that means rotate. So what this creates is the question of, can I walk up to this creep wave? Right? That's the question.
Right.
So that's a question that I internally check every single creep wave. Right? And that's something that you can train to check too. Because if you're asking yourself, can I walk up to this creep wave without dying? You don't do this. Right? You walk up to this creep wave, right? Because that's like the #1 thing guiding your decision. The only reason you would walk away from this creep wave is because you think you can't be there. It's the same thing. Right. It's the same thing here. Like, I would want you to tell me that you literally are like, I can't walk over here. Like, I'm dead if I go right there. And then I would ask you why you think you're dead. So do you think you're in peril by going there, or are you just not thinking this way yet, so we just got to get you there? Like, do you think...
I don't think I'm...
Good.
I think it should be reasonably safe.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically what's cool is you're making a high-level play to pull this creep camp into the wave. Meaning, like, that's above the play level of, I just want to be near creep waves.
Right.
Like, that's the simple thing, and the only time that you walk away from a creep wave is you're like, I just can't do that. Like, I'm going to get fucked. You know? And so, like, another example of why is this guy doesn't have mobility. So one of the most important factors for you feeling safe over here is if the carry can connect. If they're fast, if they have high mobility, stuff like that, right? And the other thing is, like, if they have a lot of damage on the carry. So, like, in this case, the guy's main damage on Alchemist, I don't know if you think this, but his main damage is Acid Spray. So he's literally Acid Sprayed over here.
Right.
So you have every reason to be allowed to, like, walk over here and just farm the small camp. You farm the small camp, you probably leave, like, 2 creeps alive, like, meaning of the creep wave, and you just drag those with you over here. That's what I would want you to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So far, the main thing I'm seeing in your lane is you kind of just walking away from creep waves that you're strong enough to farm. That's my main concern. Okay, so we make an aggressive play with our ults. Nice, narrow escape there. Ballsy to not pop the Lotus sooner.
Here I'm kind of running around for 10 seconds or so. Then I go back to the play.
Why are you afraid of this Alchemist?
No, I think I just wanted to get his smoke camp because I was assuming he would go next
Okay,
there.
we're just going to reiterate because we're not going to waste our time with this. Creeps.
Yeah.
Creeps. Creep waves. You're thinking of all these, like, 5-head things. Creeps. Creep waves. Creep waves. I can tell you, I knew the moment you started talking that you're the type of guy that thinks really hard about your decisions, and that's great. We need to be careful of thinking too hard. You know, and getting kind of caught up and lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Or
Here I was, yeah,
Okay.
I think I know what you mean. Here I was looking at the map, and I originally didn't want to TP, but then I saw Quote diving our thief to tower, so I just kind of went for it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a great TP.
assuming that it makes sense.
Yeah, this was good. I mean, Night Stalker, when you're strong, it's either you make a proactive move or they're not allowed to do things. Like, that's like the 2 ways I look at it.
And here I assume because my, it's day and my ulti ended, I just kind of went for this easy camps, the safe camps.
Yeah.
I did kind of stick here, I guess unintentionally, because I don't really farm a double stake camp. Not that I can, but it's kind of not super fast. So just kind of staked it and left. Then I went to the second camp. That one is super annoying to farm at this point, so I just went to the third camp. Okay, that sequence of decisions probably doesn't make sense, but
okay.
it made
I'm going to
sense.
ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why can't you farm this creep wave?
I can, I think.
Okay. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I should probably just go immediately.
Yeah, your hero doesn't jungle. So the question on Night Stalker in lane is, can I walk up to these creeps? If yes, don't you dare walk away from them. The question in the mid game is, since you don't jungle on your hero, is there a lane for me to farm? Okay, walk to it. Like, all this, like, should I stack this? Should I do that camp? Should I do that camp? Just go to the creep wave. Right?
Yeah.
Let's super simplify this. Like, I can promise you this is a huge unlock for you. Like, this is just you're wasting so much efficiency by not just walking to the next wave, whether it's in lane or whether it's out of lane like this. Right? You knew you didn't want to farm. You knew you're not really strong, but you are full HP. Like, if you were like 400 HP and 200 mana, it's like, sure, go farm the medium camp and then go back to base or something. But the only thing you're not trying to make a move, but you can go stand and farm a creep wave because you have 1700 health. So, like, you're allowed to do that. So there's just that creep wave mid that's kind of just going unfarmed, which really sucks. You get there late, better late than never, but it took, it should have been a beeline right at 12 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
You've almost got your ulti in 30 seconds, So I understand this, right? You're walking away from this creep wave right here. So you finish this one. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk away from this creep wave because most of the time I can't farm up here, right? Like, as a daytime Night Stalker, I can't do that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, sucks, so.
What?
Mostly because my vision sucks and I cannot really get away if they go on me.
Okay, so if they go on you, these 2 guys are dead and these guys are up here. Who's going on you?
Right. Right. Good question. Pretty much.
Okay, so this is an example where every time I finish this creep wave, every time, literally every game ever, I'm always asking myself, am I going for the next wave? Like, every time ever. And you have to be able to give a reason not to go. So what I asked you here is, what is your reason for not farming here? And you said, my vision sucks, so I can't see heroes. You know what solves that problem? When you see all of the heroes.
Right.
You see what I mean, though? Like, it makes sense,
yeah,
right?
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
You're absolutely correct about why you're not supposed to do this 90% of the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, this type of efficiency is so important on Night Stalker because until you get shard, when it's daytime, you just don't fucking farm at all. Like, your hero just doesn't gain net worth from hitting jungle camps. You know what I mean? So being in lane as often as humanly possible. And it also plays a huge role in your first 8 minutes too, because it's like, if I miss 7 creeps in lane as Axe, it's like, who fucking cares? I'm like farming an ancient stack at 10 minutes, you know? But if I miss 10 creeps as Night Stalker, that's just 10 creeps I'm never getting back. So like, all these times at like 4 minutes where you gave up 3 creeps, at 8 minutes where you gave up these 5 creeps, it's a lot more of a price on Night Stalker than it is on these offlaners that can jungle, right? So it's just kind of pointing out to you that I think your fight awareness is good. I think if I ask you why you're doing what you're doing, it's correct. So now we just need to link that to your play. So I think if you had one takeaway, I already know it's the one major takeaway for you, is be so much stickier to creep waves all game. This is like the first 25 to 30 minutes of the game. Like, look for those fucking creep waves. Look for them. Don't just let them go. You know, view them as the most precious thing in the entire game. So we don't see this. You know, this is 200 gold and like 200 XP. This is like 100 gold and 80 XP. This is like wave pressure. This is nothing, right? So it's just, you know, we're missing out on golden experience and we're missing out on wave pressure. Ideally, you would have been gone by the time Lion respawns, which is perfect. So you do go bottom here. You're going to cut the creeps. See, like, this is an example where I think it's, like, reasonable that you're going to play really aggressive with your ult, but, like, this is more sus to me than the other one, because they're all alive and you only saw 2 of them top. So, like, for me, I'm like, oh, God, like, I would just be hitting the tower, you know? Like, this is a really aggressive move. It ends up working out, obviously. I'm just pointing out that I think it's interesting you're, like, willing to play aggressively, probably because you're ult, right? Is that why you're willing to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a very binary, I'm aggressive with my ulti up, I'm not aggressive without my ulti. So what that tells me is you understand your hero. So we just need to start kind of drawing attention to how enemy heroes affect your hero. So you know you want to go to creep waves. So now we just need to factor in when you're weak. This is like a very important thing on Night Stalker, right? You said you like the fact that there's portions where he's really strong and there's portions where he's like not so strong. So
yeah,
this is important on like every hero to some extent, but I think it's like the most important on Night Stalker of like every hero in the game is that like when you're weak to be like super sticky to creep waves, and when you're strong to like, you know, be willing to make aggressive plays. It's like I probably would have just pushed the tower as my aggressive play, but like if you want your aggressive play to be like this and then they go on you and you turn like that, that's fine too. Meaning like that's not going to keep you at 2K. Like that's like much more niche than what I'm saying earlier, which is 4 heroes showing top, push the creep wave. You know, that's like a very easy fix, but the stuff you're doing is on the right track, so I don't want to change too much. If you think that was the right way to use your strength, that's fine. It looked like you think you're strong, you're playing like you're strong, that's what I want to see, basically. So that's good. You're gonna run at these fuckers. Yep, get the tower. So interestingly enough about this, I'm curious why you have a shield rune and you saw Co-op with half HP, you took the tower, you see a lion, you have a shield rune, and I'm wondering where you're going.
Well, the rune is most of it was kind of there, so I didn't really use it as a rune too much at this point because I know I don't have my ulti. It's still night, so you can still go on them, but I'm assuming they're like all five in the triangle or something. I want to just like run into the triangle. And I guess I could go bottom and push the tower bottom because that's presumably the next objective.
What we need to think about is I promise you can walk to right here. It's just why don't you think that that's valuable is the question. It's like, I think it's incredibly valuable that you walk right here and just see what's going on up here. Is there one hero? Is there 4 heroes? Like, you'll live because you have a shield rune. Like, you'll live. Right? So it's like, they don't really have stuns. They have Lion before Blink, right? Or he has Blink, actually. But it's like, they, honestly, I don't know how to say this, but like, they won't kill you here. I can just promise you that. Because of the shield rune, it's like, okay, if you don't have shield rune, I probably just TP bottom. But like, when I get the shield rune, I'm like, oh, I can run back. So it's like, when I'm weak, or like in general, I'm like, I want to be on creep waves. But like, if I'm strong, which you are strong because it's nighttime, I'm thinking, how far up on the map can I walk? Like, that's what I'm thinking. And a lot of times the far up part is the creep waves. But Night Stalker at night is actually an off map hero because he gives vision, and vision heroes often don't want to be in lanes. Does that make sense? Like, if you need to buy shard to clear lanes, that's fine. Once you get shard, go clear lanes. But you don't have shard yet, and I just see this opportunity to walk here. And so let's not dwell on this one. So I apologize. I feel like I've gone in depth about this one. But just note that I'm basically trying to point out how often you're retreating for what isn't like correct in terms of your limits. You're not overly aggressive. You're far too passive, is what I'm saying. Like, I'd say if like 5 is a perfect balance and 10 is like way too aggressive and 1 is like way too passive, you're at like a 2 or a 3. Like, you're not like horribly passive, but you've definitely leaned far on the side of passivity. And that can definitely get you kind of like locked in place in MMR because you're just not really pushing your limits. I think you have a lot of like good fundamentals to what you're doing. There's just no real like limit pressing here. Why am I... Oh, I'm on like Enigma's perspective, even though I clicked on you. That's weird. Okay, I was like, why does your camera work so bad? But no, it's... okay. Okay. Interesting. A little bit of...
this felt bad because I assume I did something wrong here, so... I don't know.
I'm going to be straight with you.
Yeah.
If you walk up this high ground 45 seconds ago, then you'll know if there's 4 heroes here, and then this move is good.
Right.
If you don't do this, you're going in here blind. You don't know where they are. So the reason why this move is bad is because you had no proof that they weren't 5 here. Or 4. Like, if we look at the map, there's no proof. Like, the silencer has a TP, right? So, like, from what you see on the map, there's nothing telling you. It's like Undying has a TP. Silencer has a TP. Like, they could all be here at any given moment. So, like, if you see that they have TPs and they could be here, guess what this move is right here? What is the intent of this move?
Well, mostly to pull out the Alp so I can take the tower.
Okay, I'll correct you here. If we are at an enemy tower and we see enemy heroes with TPs, if we run at a guy like this, it's to force them to TP.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do here. So I want you to think that you can't just dive towers and just, unless you know you have more numbers than they do. So what I mean by that is you have to have known 3 people TP'd away here and you have 3 people. So that means it's 3v2. Or you have to have 5 heroes and know that if they're coming in, it's like 5v4 anyway. Like, you have to know that. Otherwise, you can't just dive towers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so the point about this is that if you don't know that, like, I don't know for sure I can have more numbers, anything you do is to fuck with them. It's like, I'm going to go on this guy, force him to ulti. How far do I think I can go before I think they'll, like, I just have to guess they're going to TP. Like, you're kind of like playing poker with them. You're like, I'm bluffing you, see if you call, you know? And guess what? If they TP 2 heroes here and you walk away, it's like insanely game winning. Because then you just do this, and the first guy that shows here by himself dies. You know what I mean? Because you go kill him. Because you run there at like hasted move speed and fuck him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, the only issue here is that you dove tower, and I don't think there was any idea in your mind that you were ever retreating. Like, this guy, you're committed. Like, you're fucking in. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just remind here, when diving towers, always consider first forcing the reaction. You don't always want to all in. Most good moves on heroes like Night Stalker, who are mobility vision based heroes, that's what I mean by Night Stalker type heroes, they're two-pronged. You see something that allows you to do something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And that helps me explain why I thought it was so impactful with this shield rune to walk right here.
Right.
Because if I see 3 heroes farming triangle here, and I see Alchemist respawn and TP here, I'm like, oh shit, they have an Alchemist TP here. Free area down here. You know? Alchemist TP top, fuck them up bottom, you know? I'd say stuff like that. Okay. Fantastic. So they're doing the opposite of you guys here, which is to, you know, fight into you when you're all there.
Yeah, here I think I made a mistake. I just kind of ran after them, and then when I felt I shouldn't run after them anymore, I left. But it does mean that my carry died. And I think, I don't know if Enigma died here or not, but yeah. So, I don't know, did I cause my teammates to just kind of feed here by doing this? Because I could have gone back at any point, right? I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, the question we have to ask ourselves is, based on your understanding of your hero, what point are you supposed to back? Like, let's just watch this, right? You guys are 5v4, you see them, this Alk is half health, he's not ultied, you're walking in, it's like, okay, well, what point do we want to back? Like, we see the tombstone, maybe now. Like, maybe we're supposed to back now. This would be the only moment where you could consider backing. Because you guys focus and kill the tombstone, which you guys, like, you know, you kind of learn that bottom as well. That focusing, like, diving a tombstone is pretty bad. So you end up diving the tombstone. Literally what you've learned in the 2 dives that haven't worked is you dove and you forced a tombstone, and instead of we forced a tombstone back up, it's fucking get him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's actually what you've learned in this case. You ask, like, about chasing. I think up until this moment, I would have done up until that moment he plopped the tombstone down, I'm doing the exact same thing you're doing. Like, I'm doing exactly this with the intent to force a reaction. I see this and I'm like, I mean, I'm fast forwarding, so it's a bit awkward. But like, I see this tombstone plop, and I have the choice to turn around right now. I have the choice. I'm not saying for sure I would have the awareness to turn around right here, but this is the moment you were supposed to turn around. And it's happened twice now, right? Where you died to tombstone. So, and if you communicate like, oh, they tombstone to get back, and your drow still runs in, that's his problem. But, you know, we are noticing a trend that you have a really heavy committal nature to you. You want to dive, you keep going. So it's not, I don't want to take that from you, meaning like, I think it's good that you're trying to make aggressive moves. These are like, you are forcing reactions. Reactions can be TPs, and they can also be important spells. So like Tombstone's an important spell, right? If you guys just disengage right here with you being this health and Ricky gets out and stuff, and like, what happens if they just like show somebody mid now? They don't have Tombstone. They don't have like, Alk has no resources. Silencer and Lion have no mana. Like, they can't fight you again.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So like, that's why it's like, oh, we forced Tombstone. That's a good thing to back up. It's like, the point is like, what, like, I'm just going to put in here, what are you trying to force? Like, what reaction? What reaction are you trying to force? Do you have any questions about this, or is this all making sense?
No, I agree. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. I think your instinct to be aggressive is correct, though, so we don't want to overcorrect and, like, have you not do that. So what we're seeing is this. I think this is the picture we're painting. When you play Night Stalker, you are either overly aggressive when you're strong, or you are overly passive when you're weak. We need to like, I'd say you're doing like 10 out of 10 aggression and 1 out of 1 passivity. It needs to be like a 2.5 and an 8.5. Do you know what I'm saying? Like 2.5 means I could go farm a creep wave if nobody's there. That's like what a 2.5 is. 1 is like if I show on a lane, I fucking die. That's what a 1 is. Do you see what I mean? The difference?
Yeah.
Okay. And then like a 10 out of 10 is like if they had all 5 heroes here and all of their spells and I go on them, they fucking die. That's a 10 out of 10. You're at like an 8.5 where like I can force them to react and force them to do things, but there are conditions for me to have to back off. So what we need to do is kind of like teach you what the conditions are for you backing off. Like that's just something for you to think about. It's kind of just something you learn over time. It's like now when you go into every aggressive play, what is the condition for me to back off? BSJ tells me I'm correct to be aggressive here, but what is my condition for backing off? And that's something you can kind of think about after the game, you know, reflecting on your plays and stuff. Or you can think about it in the draft. Be like, what spells do I want to force? You know, what TPs do I want to force? You know, stuff like this. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, we're going to keep going. I wouldn't take the blame for getting your team killed there, though. I don't think that's really going to help you. Like, I don't think having... I understand it's a good, like, team mindset, but I wouldn't think about it that way. It's just, at what point could you have turned around? I think is a more helpful way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm doing the 1 out of 10 again, probably.
Oh, this was fine, I think. You went and cleared a creep wave. You did, where is it? So you wouldn't clear the creep wave when you literally finish the creep wave, you see people coming, you're backing off.
Right.
I think the only difference here is maybe you even consider TPing mid.
Yeah.
You could. I honestly think what you're doing is fine because you jungle now. So you actually have options. Like you jungling here is not all that bad. It would have been worth considering TPing mid, but I don't even think what you're doing here is wrong. The game gets much simpler for Night Stalker when you have this shard, because like now your jungling is fine. You're like, well, look at that. You're actually, oh, now this is bad. You have 50 seconds on your ulti. Nobody's here. You literally have vision that tells you nobody's here. And instead of going for this creep wave, you're backing. So in hindsight, they're smoked. If you knew that, you're a god. You know, if you knew they were smoked, then you had to get out. I would have probably just died on the creep wave there.
Yeah, somebody had the ward on the gate and they gated through or something. I didn't notice they were smoked. So.
I mean, okay. Honestly, it's honestly not bad when you die as Night Stalker at daytime. It's just, it is what it is.
Right.
So I like this. Good. You're a vision hero and you have your ult going. I need you to go like this.
Right.
I need to see everything. I need to use every second of my ulti. We're not allowed to.
Yeah, at this point I didn't even notice my Rika was in the triangle. I was like, why do we have vision there? We don't have ward. And then I noticed it was Ricky. So I felt bad.
So like at every moment you're ulted, it's like, what's the most aggressive move I can possibly make? You know? So like in this case, your aggressive move is diving the squab. What's the move now?
Right? Yeah, just going to the triangle.
Yeah. And so that's just what we need to help train you to focus is like when you're in ult mode, what is the most aggressive move I can make at any given point? And you've at least considered the options. You would look for it. The reason is I don't know exactly what's going on in your head, meaning like what you are thinking about, but like you're not thinking about what's the most aggressive possible thing I could do right now. Because if you think that way, you're going to look for all the possible options. And the first thing you need to do whenever you think of what am I going to do now, you have to look at the minimap. Like you gotta. Like otherwise you just don't have information. So any questions about that?
No, yeah, I agree. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to be like, yeah, it's you should look at your teammates more. I don't think that like really solves the problem. It's like, yes, that's true, but like it doesn't really cover like, okay, what do I do with that is what I would say. For me, it's like look at the minimap because I want to look to be as aggressive as possible. That's an actionable thing to think, basically. Yeah, this is just trying to help your team.
Super bad.
Yeah.
Just gonna run down the 5 heroes and
So I know it's like obviously really bad, but like, why do you TP here? Like, be honest.
So I thought we were strong, or not like super strong, but at least we could stand our ground. And I had my blink, and I thought at the very minimum I could just blink in and silence them for like 3 or 4 seconds and walk back to the tower. But I didn't expect we would just like all die instantly. So
I see. My assumption would be if you were to play the next 500 games and never TP to your team at daytime, you'd gain MMR. Like, there are incredibly niche situations where you should TP to your team when you have no ult. But I think if we just made that 0%, you'd gain a lot of MMR. Like, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, makes sense.
I think that's a decision you can make when you're like 7K. Like, that's honestly so far niche down the road, you can worry about it then. I would love to see when you're at daytime. Okay. Daytime mode. What creep waves can I farm without dying? Answer that question at every stage of the game, you're a better Night Stalker player. So you see this fight? What does this fight mean to you when you see this fight? With this question, what creep waves can I farm without dying? What does this fight mean to you?
It's nothing. It's like whatever.
No. It means you can farm this, and then you can farm the next wave, and then you can go through the gate and farm this wave.
Right.
That's what it means. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I have the information. They're all there, and I can just push the silence.
Yeah, so your mode when you're in daytime is what creep waves can I farm without dying? If we answer that question correctly, your map movements will be great. If we do anything else, the point is like people think, oh, maybe I can help my team here. But it's like, if I just tell you as a Night Stalker, I've played a lot of Night Stalker. I think I have like 170 games or something, like enough that I feel pretty confident about this. Just don't TP to your team at daytime, because when you're at daytime, you're just trying to not be useless. And to not be useless means like clearing some creep waves. Like that. And there's sometimes where you can't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, but we want to maximize our uselessness. You know, like that's what we want to do. We want to maximize our uselessness within the limits of our hero's capabilities, which is generally to just farm some creep waves, because earlier at 10 minutes, you were allowed to go mid because you're super tanky. So even if they go on you, you'll probably live because it was like close to your tower and you had like 1700 health. At this stage, you actually clear waves pretty fast. So it would have been more useful in that capacity. Oh no, we saw a DD. Okay. Oh, Drow got it. Okay.
I guess the question I have at this point is this item choice correct? My next item was Lotus just because I felt like normally I would get the BKB, but I felt like I didn't necessarily need a BKB, and I didn't really want to have a dispel for all the stuff they have on a short cooldown. And just in general, like if we have a 5/5, I Lotus myself, I go on them, they cast all the spells on me, they reflect them, stuff like that. I don't know, it just felt more useful, and I didn't feel like I would die instantly if I didn't have a BKB. So does that make sense, or should I just get the BKB and forget about it?
I want you to describe to me your impact in these ganks. Like what happens here? What is the course of action, right? You ult, you blink, you kill this guy in 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Fast forwarding 16x here. Let's ignore like the team fight or whatever. It's going to happen. We know it. It's fine. What is your impact on this gank?
Same thing.
Okay. So, you've played a decent amount of Night Stalker. What percentage of fights do you think you're high impact when you blink on somebody and instantly murder them? Like, what percentage of the time is that your impact? The answer is like 95%, right?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
Okay, what item secures when you blink on somebody that you kill them in 3 seconds?
Damage item.
EKB.
Right, okay.
What I'm trying to say is there's heroes in the game that have options. Night Stalker doesn't have options. His impact in fights is very one-dimensional.
Right.
You blink in, you BKB, you kill the guy. Then they buy like fucking Ghost Scepters and Glimmers and Force Staffs and shit. And then you buy a Nullifier. And then you blink BKB Nullifier the guy. And then he can't fucking move.
Right.
You know, like, there's not much else Night Stalker needs to do. The only exceptions to Nullifier are when the hero can, like, turn around and hit you. So maybe you're in, like, kite mode, you know, because it's like a troll with BKB or something. So rather than blinking to murder him, you're, like, blinking to force him to do something and then back off. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's, like, the only exception. So you'd maybe go, like, AC or Basher or, you know, just durability or lockdown items kind of thing. But most of the time, this is your game plan. So I understand maybe you don't need a BKB, and Dispel's nice against Silencer and Quap, and the Reflection is really nice against Alk and Lion. That all makes sense to me. Like, in a vacuum of Lotus Orb as an item, I think Lotus Orb is very good this game.
Mhm.
It just doesn't work for Night Stalker. It's just not an option.
Right.
Like, this hero just needs to buy a BKB. I've learned the lesson on Huskar. It's the same on Huskar, where you just, like, blink and dunk somebody and kill them in 3 seconds, and if you don't buy a BKB, the hero's, like, fucking useless. Like,
Right.
I've noticed it. Like, you just die to some random flak damage or some shit, like, meaning somebody hits you with a ground-targeted spell, and your armlet toggles off at, like, 15 minutes, and you just die. It feels awful.
Right.
You know, I know somebody's not a Huskar player if their if they have 3 items, and none of them are BKB. So yeah. Okay, so you're running around the map. You get a kill. Very nice. You got ulti with an arcane rune. You're fucking going. Let's get him. Fuck yeah. Okay, nice blink dodge. Setting up your team for success. Very nice. Owning. Very good. Okay, we're back. Okay, what did we learn here?
Yeah.
What did we learn?
This was kind of BKB.
No, what did we learn? What'd the guy do?
Oh. Well, running and the tombstone. Yeah. Either
Stop it.
hit it or get
Just
back.
leave.
Because just leave.
Just leave. Literally, just leave. The guy tombstoned on the high ground. Just leave. Don't fight into tombstone. That's like seeing a Terrorblade meta and be like, get him! You know? That's like,
Yeah.
no, what you do against Terrorblade when he metas is you just leave. You know? Death Prophet ulti, Terrorblade meta, Undying Tombstone. There's just like certain spells in the game where the hard counter is to walk away from them. So yeah. It's funny because I actually think your aggression, if you just... start thinking about back off conditions. So like you go push a tower. When you go push high ground the first time, usually it's to force a fort, force a buyback, or force specific spell usages. That's what going high ground means. So like I want you to think that pretty much every time the first time you walk up high ground, I want you to think if they cast literally all their spells that you can't do anything, and you may be thinking we're 5v2 right now, so let's go. But what you've learned is that doesn't fucking matter when they have Undying Tombstone on the ground.
Right.
Like, that's what you've learned, you know? And they also had fortifications, so, like, Fort was hitting all of you guys and stuff, and that sucks. But, yeah, that's the main thing is, you know, on paper, 5v2 is correct a lot of the time. But Undying Tombstone, probably not. So it makes sense you're kind of following a lot of, like, good rules of thumb, but you're kind of, you're missing the important part a lot of the time, and we just got to get you focused on what the important part is. So when you're being aggressive, what is my reason to retreat? Because you don't really look like you have one. You kind of just, oh, I'm literally 200 HP, I can't fight anymore, I now back off. We want to have, like, a little bit more foresight than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Looks like you have help a team syndrome a lot as well. Your team's getting initiated onto, so you want to turn it. Yeah, I mean, you're like Drow's not there or anything. I think what you're noticing is when you guys jump them, it owns. When they jump you, they own.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is with Vision Heroes. It's like if I'm Slark and I'm the one initiating, it feels really good. If I'm Slark and my teammates are getting gone on and I'm like trying to save them or something, it just feels awful. Night Stalker's kind of the same. So like we'll just say Night Stalker specific. This is Night Stalker Vision Hero specific. Going on them equals win. Them going on us equals feed. It's been pretty pronounced this game, right? Like, they go on you guys, it's like a 5v0 wipe. You go on them, it's like a 4v0 wipe. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I want to point out, like, you'll notice it in your games. So we want to start establishing a baseline level of fight conditions. So for Night Stalker, it's very simple. Are we jumping them or are they jumping us? You don't, like, salvage your teammates getting initiated onto. You're not like a fight turner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like Tide that's like, blink ravage everybody and turn the fight. It's like, you know, blink silence. It's like pretty underwhelming in comparison to a lot of counter initiation heroes. Like, name some counter initiation heroes from the offlane. I already said Tide. What are some others?
Well, I guess Red King, if you can consider him an offlaner.
Who?
Because if Red King, if you die, you kind of just slow everybody in an AoE, and you know.
I wouldn't say counter initiator means your teammate gets gone on, you blink in and turn the fight.
Right.
So I wouldn't put Wraith King in there.
Well, the hero must have. I don't really play those kind of heroes, so I'm not really super familiar, I guess.
I would say Axe, Legion, maybe.
Right.
Dawnbreaker. Could be Centaur, could be Earthshaker. It's like Mars counter initiation as well. Usually it's like AoE counter initiation. Darkseer. Like, do you see what I mean by the types of heroes that I'd say Legion's bad? It's like Axe, Mars, Darkseer, Earthshaker, you know, potentially, or Dawnbreaker, Centaur potentially, like AoE stun, save. Do you see what I mean by what makes a counter initiator? Yeah. Tide Ravage. A lot of the times the initiators can or the counter initiators can also initiate, but an example would be like Dawn only counters initiate. She can't really initiate, right?
Right.
She can like follow up her teammate initiating, but she can't initiate herself. Like Tidehunter can initiate with Ravage. But like most of the time, you know, or not most of the time, but he can also counter initiate with Ravage. Night Stalker's kit is 100% initiation. It's like 2% counter initiation. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, you are an initiation hero, not a counter initiation hero. So it sounds like you've never really thought about this much, or you don't really play those heroes. So I think that's just an important thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind is like, when you do these type of fights, remembering like, oh yeah, I tried to counter initiate again and I'm Night Stalker. You know?
Makes sense.
That would be like the takeaway.
So keeping that in mind, I guess another this blade mail purchase is probably not the best, because what does that actually do to help me win the fight?
Basically, we talked about fight win conditions is you initiating on them and killing somebody, right? So what's happened is you didn't itemize for that with this, and then you've been playing fights in a counter initiation fashion, so you just have no plays now. Like, the game feels really fucking weird now. That's what happens. Because you're like, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna go fucking blade mail. Like, this is, I've done this plenty of times. This is the sign that you fucked up. Like, a lot of times you just gotta roll with it. If you think blade mail's the right purchase, go for it. Like, honestly. If you're like, I'm just gonna throw myself in there and pop a blade mail, that's what I think I need to do this game, I don't even hate it. I think that's reasonable creativity, you know? But I'm saying, like, if you feel that way, that you need to buy a 36-minute blade mail, it's rough, you know? So fortunately, you relearned your lesson of I initiate on the back lines and kill the supports, and we win fights doing that. Fantastic. I mean, winning is kind of loosely defined. You guys, like, traded even. You did a good job. You know, you did your job. You know, 3 heroes are dead. I want to farm that creep wave. I want that creep wave, dog. I got Lotus Orb. I'm going to walk up to that creep wave with a Lotus Orb on. Farm it. I probably wouldn't blink blindly into their jungle. Or it looks like you harpooned into their jungle, I see.
Yeah, at this point, kind of the fights felt awkward because we couldn't really burst. Well, I mean, we did get line, but I don't know. It just felt like we're not really doing anything
What I
in the
need
fight.
is when people are dead in the game, if we push creep waves, we get more information. If we get more information, we take better fights. That's just how the game goes. So I want you to look at how awkward this fight was, and I want you to remember that that happens when you don't push creep waves. I can't really make the direct tie for you. I can only promise you that that's how it works. So, like, what I'm saying is you have Lotus Orb. They have 2 single target guys. You walk up to this wave, you Lotus Orb, you push it. One of them is going to show down here, and then one of them is going to show here, and then you kill that guy. But when you don't push creep waves, then they don't show anywhere, and then they just kill you. Like, that's kind of like, look at how much information we have, right? Like, you're going to go on them here, sure. But, like, now 0 information. Literally 0. Look at this.
Yeah.
And we run into them. They're all there. We don't know where they are, though, but they're all there. And the idea is, like, when they have Silencer Undying, you don't want to force a 5v5 head on. You want to, like, jump the lion by himself, like you did. Like, you jump the guy who's by himself right here. You want full knowledge and vision that he's by himself. Whether that's, like, slightly disconnected from his team or, like, very alone. But what happened was, we didn't push creep waves, we had no information, and then we blind blinked into 5 heroes. That's basically what happened. And then they have really strong counter initiation themselves. Undying is technically, if we consider him an offlaner, he's a counter initiator as well. But kind of in like a different sense. So I'm gonna pause right here because we got about 5 or 10 minutes left. Would you like to finish this replay? Would you like me to jump into another one really quickly and look at like a specific portion of it? How would you like to like wrap up the?
Yeah, let's go to a different replay. So the other hero that I wanted to kind of play is Necro.
Oh,
And I don't think I'm really that good with Necro, so maybe we'll just go over kind of the laning stage.
sure.
And actually, you know what? Because it doesn't really matter which lane it is for the laning stage, let's actually go to a different one.
Okay.
Just a second, not the one that I just sent. It's kind of technically mid, but you know, it's still laning stage. So,
Sure. You need to.
wait, my Dota just crashed.
Oh, you're
Sorry.
good. You're good. Take your time.
Just one moment. My Dota just crashed. All right, it's stopping and come on. There we go. Okay, it will just take like 10-15 seconds just to start it up again. I had it recorded just on that particular one. Because I feel like Necro is kind of strong hero in general. It's just that if you kind of mess up the first kind of 5 minutes or whatever, then you kind of it's really important to not mess up the first few levels. And I'm not sure I'm actually not doing that. So let's see.
Sure.
Just a second. All right, loading and history and there we go. Maybe this one. This was mid versus kind of Medusa, which is kind of something that happens in my MMR. But it was like my first mid Necro game in like I don't know how long, but pretty long, and I didn't really play Necro in a bit, so we can just go over the first like 5 minutes. I don't think we need to go past that too much, but
My tip is don't buy that out.
which one?
This one.
The Khan Sancho.
Yeah.
I think that put it like in the last minute of the game, so it didn't really.
Oh, I see.
It was kind of like we were already kind of basically ending the game, so.
I see. Not a big fan.
But yeah,
of that.
okay. So
I think it's an
I
absolute bait item, though. Yeah, it feels like it'd be really good, and it isn't. Okay.
So I'm sure I'm doing a bunch of things wrong here, but you know, just kind of first 5 to 10 minutes. That's probably better. Because whenever I see like a necro player, they're always like kind of strong, and I feel like if the Medusa looks at me wrong, I die. So if that makes sense. So I'm sure I did a bunch of things wrong here.
Okay.
Plus, I don't really play that much mid. This was more like I think I queued 05 and I got mid. So
Okay, so basically, if you're going to play ranged heroes, you're going to need to work on your creep aggro a lot. So right here, what happens here is you accidentally click the Medusa, right? Or maybe that was purposeful, and you draw creep aggro. When you're a ranged hero, you take twice as much damage to creeps as you would as a melee hero. You take twice as much damage. So these creeps hitting you is like a sign that you're fucking up. Like, see this? How long these creeps are hitting you for? You've literally taken like 150 damage from creeps.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment right here. Where you're half HP, you're not allowed to save the creeps outside of your tower. You need to walk them into your tower and farm them.
Right.
It's the same thing. You're taking another, what is that, 75 damage from creeps? To what? Like, you know, miss the creeps under tower afterwards? You know, that's something we learned again. Okay. Same thing here. You instantly aggro the creeps on you when you walked forward. So your choice is to walk forward, not aggroing creeps, or to aggro creeps backwards. But like walking forward, aggroing the creeps like this, that's pretty bad.
Right.
That's going to backfire pretty hard. So we're just kind of losing this sustain battle. So like in this case, what I do is when I use my Q on Necro, what I want to do now is I want to like A-click somebody's portrait and move these creeps away from the Dusa. Because if I don't have my nuke, I need to move the creeps closer to me, away from them, and that's how I get the CS. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this moment, because you already queued, there's kind of like two modes you're in. You walk aggressively and use your Q to hit them and a creep at the same time. That's one move. And the other move is, once you've done that, you back off by aggroing the creep towards you. So like, basically you would aggro right here instead of letting the creep sit there. At the very least, maybe you don't aggro this one, but then you would aggro this one because you have a bit more time. And instead, you're like sitting the creep there and just letting him kind of contest you freely for it. So I think a majority of this is aggro related. It'll be much harder for you to practice this on ranged heroes, like meaning ranged heroes are just higher level difficulty when it comes to this. So yeah, quite honestly, I think your aggroing and CSing on ranged heroes is just, it just needs some work, honestly. It depends on, you know, you'd either want to play a bunch of ranged heroes in a row and practice it. Otherwise, you're never going to really get good at it, I think. Like, if you were to keep playing melee heroes, it's kind of going to make it easier for you, which will be a problem in the long run, I think. So it's worth considering short term to, like, play at some point. It doesn't have to be now, but, like, at some point, playing, like, 15 games of ranged heroes in a row. You know?
Which one would you suggest as offliners? Like DP, Razor?
Yeah, DP, Razor. I think you said you play Phoenix in the notes.
Yeah, I did. I like playing Phoenix, but as 4. The reason for it is very simple. So I like using my Fire Spirits a lot, and I find it kind of hard to CS on Phoenix in general. And well, I guess it doesn't have anything to do with Fire Spirits, but I don't know. I just feel like the hero is like has like a really awkward attack animation. So I'm just obviously it's super important to CS in lane as the offlaner. I just don't feel super confident in him in that regard. I know it kind of sounds funny because, like, you know, it's very basic, but just playing him at free, I know that people play him at free often and he's strong, but just like I'm kind of focused on harassing the enemy carry. I'm kind of focused on a bunch of different things that are not CSing, and just because, you know, I have so many options on Phoenix, and I'm kind of in the post 4 mode essentially all the time. So I tried playing a couple times as 3, and I just kind of did the same thing as 4, and then I got very low CS. So overall, you know, it felt good, but you know, I just kind of, I guess that's the main thing.
Basically, what I told you on Necro is that you were in 2 modes. You're in secure creeps with this, or use creep aggro properly, and you get CS, right? So, and I told you all the reasons why you weren't using creep aggro properly. Do you know how Phoenix farms? It's
I
creep
mean the
aggro
creep.
99% of the time. That's
Right,
that's the
right,
only
right.
way the hero farms. That's why you suck at it. Like I can
Because the
almost
damage is very low and the animation is bad.
yes. The
So
only thing that hero can
yeah,
do to get creeps is to aggro them properly. That's like
I
the
think
only
that all
thing that
makes
hero can
sense.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to get used to this, it's better for you to start on heroes that are a bit easier, but you need to be aware that when your hero doesn't have nuke, you know, that's when, like, what's going to happen is you do need to work on the creep aggro, but when you have nukes, you'll be able to kind of get creeps for free. You know, like you're getting like an extra
Right.
8 creeps because you're nuking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I think Death Prophet would be a good option for you. People are playing Core Snapfire right now. You know, I would just pick an offlaner with a nuke that secures creeps that's ranged. Razor's like okay for that, but like I wouldn't pick Viper. I wouldn't pick Phoenix. You know, I wouldn't that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But eventually you want to fix that problem eventually. You don't want to like if you play around it, then you're just going to be hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you want to use playing Necro, Death Prophet, and Razor and stuff to get better at this without just feeding your brains out. Basically.
Yeah.
By not feeding your brains out, but by having 15 CS at 8 minutes, like that's you know, that's what I mean here. Notice how the second you've used your nuke, you just never get CS. I'm showing you that like it's the CS outside of your nuke that are costing you, and so if you play heroes that don't have nukes, like you're gonna have a tough time. I mean, I think a lot of what is happening here is CS drill. Like I don't know if you do CS trainer every day, but
No, I don't.
it is the actual fix to this. I can tell you all this theoretical stuff. If you CS trainered 5 to 10 minutes a day, you would be way better at this over time. It would have way higher per time impact on your improvement than anything else. I can tell you that, I promise. So it's up to you.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I do a very funny move. I don't know when it happens, but I ult the Medusa, which is like, oh yeah, of course. Like half a second after I press the button, I'm like, yeah, of course, yeah. It's not how it works. Then I'm like, yeah, okay. Lesson learned.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny one. Okay, so you're gonna go.
Then I remembered, oh, Necro, I need to stack the camps and farm them. So I have a pretty high level in the queue and also have an arcane rune. So that was my next move for the next, I don't know, 5 minutes. Just kind of push the wave and go to the 2 camps and farm them.
Yep. This is, I mean, honestly, this is, let's see.
I guess
So
I checked the runes.
You're trying to secure rune, that's fine.
Yeah, I did see his rune, which is on a very slow hero. I feel like, okay, let's do this and also maybe farm this one as this camp as well, and then go back to the mid.
Yeah, this is all good stuff right here. This is all very good.
And now there's nothing to do, so
your general sense of where to go on the map is pretty good. Your farming patterns are definitely noticeably better when you have a hero that clears waves and camps because you rotate between camps and wave. So you have that down pretty well. It like showed when you had Night Stalker shard and stuff. I like the pressure there and then TP mid. That's great. You're gonna back off and farm camps. I think all of this is good. I think it's mainly the laning phase aggro that it's gonna effectively. If you were to CS trainer that every day, I think every week you would average 1 more CS by 10 minutes. You know, like you would just average 1 more CS on your games. Because
yeah, I think it makes sense.
What happened here is nothing fancy. Let's not overdo it. You were right-clicking the opponent and then walking through the creep wave. And then every time that you didn't have your nuke, you weren't using creep aggro to move the creeps, and the Medusa just denied them in front of your face. So, like, it's not rocket science. It's just creep aggro. You know how to use it. It just takes time to kind of drill it out on ranged heroes because it is very different to melee heroes. The way that creep aggro feels and works. Like, obviously, the mechanics are still the same, but it just feels different to do it on ranged heroes. For the longest time, all of my heroes I played were melee, and I couldn't lane very well on ranged heroes. That was actually a big problem when I became a pro player. I was like really good at melee heroes, and I sucked ass at ranged heroes. So that was a learning curve I had to go through as well. And so it's kind of just up to you. It's like, I would just say that if you're shifting between like one every 5 games you're playing a ranged hero, it's going to be kind of painful. Like I would either commit to learning it or kind of just stick to melee heroes, one or the other. Like that's what I would recommend.
Right. Right.
So no wrong
All right.
answer there. It's just kind of whatever you choose.
All right. I think we are at time. So this was
any
very.
final questions?
I cannot think of anything. I think we pretty much covered everything. So with both heroes, and I will continue practicing what you told me and go over the replay. And I think that was great. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Is there anything in mind you think you have for like the follow-up replay, or are you just gonna kind of send me like, would you prefer to send me a Night Stalker game, or do you have anything in mind right now, or are you just gonna kind of see how it goes from here and send me whatever? Like,
I'll probably see how it goes. I'll do probably either Night Stalker or my other favorite hero, which is Bloodseeker. I know that this is sometimes an unusual pick for Offlane, but I find him very strong right now. And I basically just kind of do the same thing I do with Night Stalker, just kind of be aggressive when I have my ulti up and stuff like that. So
yeah, conceptually they're very
Anyway.
similar heroes. High move speed, single target, kill one guy.
Yeah.
Very very similar heroes. So it makes sense. Cool, man. Then I'll keep an eye out for it.
Right.
And it was fun working with you, and I'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.